Hey, welcome back to the Montana Garage. 18 days until Big Sky Race Week, and we're still checking stuff off the list. We're getting close, though. What did I do recently? New side glass. Still got to do the windshield and back glass. Painted door jambs, weather stripping, and gear vendor overdrive installed. Check, 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 check. Making some progress. I do, however, still have an issue in here. I get oil out of this vented cap, and it gets on my plugs, on my firewall. It doesn't do it when it's just in your island. Obviously, when you get on it at higher RPMs, it's still squirting oil out of there. I built a little block-off plate there, and it's still causing the problem. So my solution, add an oil catch can. So I ordered some goodies from Summit. We got a catch can and a bunch of fittings and some hose, and I even have a plan. I came out here tonight. I'm not going to get this done tonight. It's late. I just got home from work. But I wanted to look at it and see if it's going to work. And of course, it's not going to work. So my theory was I bought this little bolt-on breather attachment. I don't know what's it called. Moroso fitting male. I don't know. It's a non-weld with baffle. I don't know, bolt-on valve cover baffle fitting. And the theory was, you know, this thing is round, it's got you need to put it right there. Well, it's bigger than my flat spot on my valve cover. And actually, what my plan was originally, or what my plan is to, I was just gonna put it on this spot where I'm leaking out of, right? But again, the holes are bigger than the flat spot, so there's no way for that to seal. It's got a little O-ring and that hole's bigger. And then I thought, well, I'll just use this, and that's not gonna work. So it's not gonna work. But I came up with a plan, and maybe this isn't the best way to do it, and maybe someday I'll change it, and maybe this isn't even gonna work. But like I said, I got 18 days till Rocky Mountain Race Week. I ordered all this stuff, and I don't really know how else to go about doing this. So what I'm gonna do, so the first thing I gotta do is I'm gonna swap valve covers side to side, or flip them around. Either way, I'm gonna have the PCV valve is going to come out over here in the back, and then this guy is going to be with this open oil fill spot is going to go right here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't really have a spot over here to hang an oil catch can. There's not really room back there. I got the overflow thing here, but I got a spot right here that will work on this side of the radiator. So my theory was to swap valve cover sides, and then this guy with all the hoses and fittings will end up right there. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. But, like I said, it doesn't fit on my valve covers. I don't really have time to mess around and order new stuff. Now I'm dropping things and breaking stuff. So, here's what I'm gonna do. This is a 327, so it's old school small block stuff. It used to have, what's it called in the back? Like a vent road breather tube? Is that what it was called? Anyways, that all broke off in the fitting, or there was a little bolt that held that thing on, and that broke off in the block, and rather than drill it out, blah, 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 I just plugged that hole and thought I'll just run a PCV valve or whatever. I used to have, and I still have somewhere, entertain yourselves for a second while I look around. Anyways, I don't know where they're at. I used to have Edelbrock valve covers on this thing, and they didn't even have oil fill or anything. So it's 327, so the oil fill was right here in the manifold, and the valve covers were just solid. No breathers, no holes for filling up, no nothing. And they're right here in front of my face somewhere, so I can show you, but I can't find them. Anyways, I switched to this setup, and I got rid of the road breather. And so my research, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know, but I figured I got to do something, means I got rid of the road breather tube thing. So it's everything, or what I read said I need to have a PCV valve on one side and a breather cap on the other side. So that's what I did. The only problem is, like I said, we're getting oil out of this breather cap. So it's a breather cap because it's got these little holes. You know, it has a hole in the center there, and then, you know, it lets air out, I guess. Well, it lets oil out also. So I need to have some sort of breather. And if we add the catch can, there's my breather on top, right? So it's still vented, it's still, you know, breathes or whatever, but hopefully the oil part is all sealed up, so the oil can't get out. So how am I gonna make this work? So my theory is I got the male adapter, or the male fitting here, that was gonna go on the valve cover. They have different sizes. I was gonna do 10 AN, but it was out of stock or wouldn't ship in time for my Big Sky Race Week thing. So I ended up with 12 AN, and I thought, well, that's probably not bad because that hole is big enough that I can take the fitting off and then use that to still fill oil through, you know, instead of like taking it all apart or having a different oil fill. Seemed like a plan to me. But now it won't fit on my valve cover like I've explained 30,000 times for half an hour as I'm sitting here talking and not doing any work. But it's important stuff. I got to tell you guys this. So maybe it's not important. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is this, because I'm out of time and maybe someday I'll get different valve covers or I'll figure something else out. But I'm still going to swap sides because the catch can's got to go over there. But I'm going to mount this guy on top of the breather cap. Now, how is that going to solve my problem? Because it's still going to leak, right? Well, I'm going to fill these holes in. I thought about welding them, but it's probably, you know, it's thin sheet metal. That's a lot of plug welding. I'll probably get it all distorted. So I think I'm just going to clean it off really good. I already did that, but I probably got it oily messing with it. And I'm going to run a layer of JB Weld around that. Fill all those holes in with JB Weld. Good idea, bad idea, I don't know. I'll probably drill out that center so it actually has more of a hole. And then I think I might even, let me set some stuff down here. I think I'm going to Permatex this seal to that. And that's all I was going to do, and then you twist it on tight. I might actually just freaking Permatex this bad boy right to the valve cover so that that's sealed and there's no oil coming out of there. Those are plugs, so there should be no oil coming out of there. And then the little cap thing goes there. And then from there we got a 90-degree guy that's going to come off the valve cover like so. Wha-bam. And then we got a little bit of hose action. And then we go into this side. So it's all going to be beautiful, right? I think it's probably maybe a little hokey or whatever you want to say, mounting it to the breather cap, but seems like it should work to me, right? And I don't have, like I said, I'm running out of time here and running out of ideas. I can't even find decent, this isn't like the right cap for these valve covers. The hole's a little different. I couldn't find anything for this. This has got like double grommets on it, but it works, doesn't seem to leak. So anyways, that's my plan. It is Wednesday? What is it? Wednesday night? Wednesday night, but it's already like 11 o'clock at night. So I'm not going to start with this tonight. I just want to come out and figure out what I'm doing. And I'm going to start as soon as I get home from work tomorrow, but I wanted to record this so I was ahead of the game tomorrow. So we can jump right into, actually, no, what I'm going to do is I am going to start a little bit tonight. I'm going to JB Weld. I'm going to JB Weld the holes on the breather. So that's why I wanted to show you guys tonight what I'm doing, because I'm going to kind of start and then we'll be back out tomorrow to, you know, mount the thing and swap the valve covers and do whatever we got to do. And hopefully we can get rid of this dang oil spraying all over my firewall, because I don't like that. Got the cap kind of taped off. Equal parts of this mixed together. It says to use the appropriate tool to apply it. I had this handy. Tried to mix it with that cardboard piece. That didn't work very good. What's your guys is, leave a comment if you think this is a good idea, bad idea, gonna work, not gonna work. I figure if it doesn't work, I'm really only out a $10 breather cap or whatever this thing costs. Seems like this epoxy should seal it up, doesn't it? Apparently I didn't make enough of it. This is the quick epoxy, or quick JB Weld too, so I can't mess around here. I gotta get it on there. It's gonna sit up on me. It says you got a few minutes, I think. That's what got mixed up. Seems like plenty, and then I spread it out on the cardboard and there's none left. Well, I think I'm gonna have to mix again, just because I can't get it off the cardboard. I don't know, looks like something. All the holes are covered. I don't know if this stuff shrinks, or I guess worst comes to worst, we'll put another layer on, huh? Or go to summit.com and buy a new one once this one's all screwed up. All right, so we're gonna let that cure overnight. We'll be back tomorrow to try to make the rest of this bad boy work. All right, I did a better job of getting this little lip out of there or whatever. Open that up with the old, what's that called? The carbide buzzy. You know what it is. And so I rounded that off enough for that guy fits on there nice and like butter, as they say. we got rid of that. So this may not be ideal. We already probably know that, right? But we're trying to make it work. But if you can look, I don't know if you can see in there at all. There's a little lip around the outside that held that filter in, and you can see, grab you guys here. You can see the epoxy or the JB Weld pushed up through the holes there. So that's good. I got plenty of that in there, but it's not ideal that there's that little lip there. So oil is gonna sit on that little ring probably. And then eventually, I mean, hopefully that JB Weld seals it up, but eventually it's probably gonna leak through there. But we're going with this for now because I don't know what else to do. So we'll put her all together and see if she works. It's still the same night. I got wrapped up into doing this stuff, and that was the quick setting JB Weld. So it's probably too soon to be messing with it, but I'm messing with it anyway. So, but that's, now I'll see you tomorrow. I gotta go to bed. All right, next night, getting dark. Yeah, dusk. Got home from work, and here's where we left off last night. I did, let's go over here. I keep forgetting I put this fancy light up here. Oh, it's not really fancy. It's something from my son's dorm room actually, but I keep forgetting to turn it on. It does help a little. So that's just sitting there still. Epoxy or JB Weld is dry, and I also, well, that didn't work with the dam. Huh. I also thought I glued this, or what's it called? Permatex, the right stuff. Apparently it was the wrong stuff for that job. Yeah, Permatex, the right stuff gasket maker. I thought I would glue that stuff all together, but apparently, back to the drawing board on that. What sticks to rubber? Apparently, I thought that doesn't. So that right stuff, it stuck to the cap, of course, but it did not stick to the rubber. So back to the drawing board on that. And now I just created more work to do because now I got to get this crap off of here, I guess. Dang it. Well, maybe I'll skip the whole gluing this crap or sticking it all together, and we'll just go with, you know, having the rubber gasket in there and turning it all together for now. Maybe I'll try to figure out something else, either an actual gasket instead of a chunk of rubber, but I need something that thickness to take up the space so it sucks itself down. Anyways, the JB Weld's hard, so I'm gonna clean this off a little bit just for the heck of it, and then we'll get ready to, let's put this guy in here. And part of this kit, there was a backing plate that would go under the valve cover. Well, we're not doing it that way, and I can't, obviously I don't have access to put the backing plate in there. So we're going to, there's an O-ring and more gasket material, probably this right stuff or something else. So, because the O-ring's not totally gonna seal because it's got this Mr. Gasket logo or something there. So O-ring, a little bit of Permatex, and then we're gonna self-tapper that bad boy to there. Coming right up. So there's how she looks on the engine. Like I said earlier, I think I am gonna swap sides. So that's the next thing we'll do is we'll pull these valve covers. This one's going over there. That one's going over here. Well, that's what swap sides means. You guys probably figured that out. So we'll get her swapped, and then we'll figure out the fittings and the hose and the mounting and all that good stuff. All right, we got our valve cover swapped side to side. Now we need to make our hose. There's probably cheaper ways a guy could do this, but I went ahead and bought this black braided hose, same as my fuel line. I mean, the parts I bought were meant for AN fittings, so I just got some braided hose and some AN fitting. So this is Russell Pro Classic hose. Like I said, same stuff I use for my fuel line. First, we're just gonna put the end on that goes to the breather that we just put on the valve cover. I didn't cut this hose. It was just This is just the factory end. I just bought a 3-foot chunk of it. So that actually has threads in it. So you push it on and thread it in there until it eventually seats itself. There we go. Felt it hit the end. And then it says to use some Russell assembly lube. I got pneumatic tool oil. I don't know if I put oil on them at all last time. Kind of the hard part, getting this guy started in there. The lube down on the end. Slide in the hose better. There we go. And now the problem I'm gonna have, hopefully not a problem. These 12AN fittings take 1 1/4 inch wrench. I only got one, but the other end will either go in the vise or the old all-size wrench. I don't even know if this gets big enough. Looks like it does, doesn't it? Oh, denied. I think that's the biggest one I have too. So we will do the vise. The vise and glove trick. Where are you guys at? Looking at my back? Tightening up a hose end, pretty glamorous stuff. You don't want to miss out. I don't know, maybe some of you guys don't know how to do this. I never really knew how to mess with these AN hose ends until I did the fuel line. I don't want to tighten it down too much and screw it up. But I guess I gotta get it tight enough to hold it in place. Maybe the glove trick's not gonna pan out for me. Well, strike 12. Problem is, there's not like 2 flat sides. I'm hitting a flat and a point. I'd rather not scratch it all up, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. They make special wrenches for these AN fittings. Of course, I don't have any of those. It's getting away from me. Keep moving. You're getting a little snug now. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the channel locks if you don't want your fittings all scratched up, because I can see already we got the old channel lock marks in there. Whew, I just need to. What do I need to do? I need another one of these guys. No such luck though. I got sockets. Guess I gotta just keep on keeping on with the old channel lock trick. It says to go until you got a 1/16 inch gap between the two. Dang it. Not quite there yet. Pretty close. I'll call that a 16th. Oh yeah, boogered that up pretty good. Oh well, just an old race car, right? All right, so now I need to probably mount the canister and then figure out exactly how this is gonna, you know, swoop around in there to get where we need it to go. Fixed. Of course, this is drilled for 1/4 inch hardware, and all I really have, I mean, I could probably scrounge something up, but I got some 5/16 stainless hardware. So we'll make the hole a little bigger. This is obviously just aluminum. It drills pretty big. Back to making holes in the car. All right, I came up with a plan on how it's gonna route. I mean, it's not really complicated. It's from A to B, like 20 inches away from each other. So I put a little black mark on my black hose, but somehow I can still see it. You wanna try to cut this as square as possible, it says. So I got this little pair of cutters. I don't know what they're from or for, but it does a pretty good job of cutting that stuff. Now, we got another hose end to do. Just like last time. See, there's actually like some threads in there. Get it started, give her some righty-tighty twists until she bottoms out. That's that for that one. A little bit of slippery juice on the end of this guy. You gotta get that guy into the rubber or whatever the hose is made out of in there. And it's a little tight. There we go. And now we have to screw this all up with channel locks, apparently. All right, you guys already saw me do that once, so I'll meet you back at the car. All right, see if we can get our massive wrench in here and make sure this is tight. I guess I should have done that before I put it in here. I don't think about having to use a wrench that's 6 feet long. Kind of hard to make that work. All right, that guy's snugged up. That one already snugged up. Put our 6-foot wrench down. Let's see, I think I'll go with this one first. It's not like there's high pressure in here or anything, so we gotta be super worried about stuff leaking, but snug them up. All right, so this one I gotta make sure that I don't put tension on the oil cap so it like untwists itself, you know what I mean? Because it wants to go that way, so we don't want to put tension against it. See how it seems like it wants to. So how would that be to make that better? I would have to put a little too much so it's actually pulling itself back. And as it pulls itself back. All right, I just lost you guys because my batteries or my GoPro or something is junk. I have constant issues with that anymore. So anyways, well, bam, as they say, or as I say for some reason. Oil canister over here, it's got a little filter. It does have a drain. So I left just a little bit of room so that'll drain. I'll have to just put like some sort of a, you know, like put a piece of plastic or something in there to just guide any oil that I want to. I don't know. I don't think it's probably ever really going to fill up. It's just like a little kind of mist of oil that comes out of there. But hopefully we'll solve our oil problem with oil getting on the firewall. You can kind of see the frame down there. You know, there's oil on here, and I've cleaned it up before, and it's again oily. So oil on the spark plug wires, and I didn't really like that. So anyways, this was my solution. It was kind of, like I said, there's cheaper ways to do it, but I want this braided line so it matches the fuel line. Oh, and I got more line and some fittings, but I am replacing this guy with some black braided line also. And then it's gonna have the proper AN connection here so I can get rid of this rubber. So this is gonna be like black braided line with AN fitting. And then I will replace, I bought 3-foot chunk of this hose. So we'll just do a new hose from wherever it is over here all the way to there. So we'll get rid of this rubber connection and this rubber janky thing I got going there. I ordered that direct from ATM, the carburetor people, because it's kind of got a weird spread on it. I couldn't find one at Summit that was that spread, or the one I could find was out of stock or something. So I went right to, actually what it was ATM was cheaper than Summit, go figure. So I ordered it right from them, but one thing they're not is as fast as Summit because I haven't got it yet. So anyways, we'll be doing that soon. I don't know what got me over there, but I was just saying there's cheaper ways to do this. You know, you could have probably got just rubber fittings. This hose is kind of expensive, and these fittings, it all adds up when you're, you know, what's another hundy, right? When you're this deep. Anyways, one more problem solved and a few to go. Come back real soon. We'll be working on, probably the next thing I'm doing is trailer hitch. And I gotta see if I can make this thing, I gotta see if I can make this scrap metal back into a drive shaft loop again. That ought to be interesting.